For what is arguably the first time in my life, I had a severe case of writer's block. I know you all know me pretty well, and thus you know I have something to say about just about everything. So this really threw me for a loop. Actually, it was almost to the point I called Jeanette and asked her to pinch hit, but I didn't. Because right about that time, at the time of my utmost frustration with this, the phone started to ring from some of my Rotary friends. And what transpired from that point is where I'm directing tonight's thoughts. Our Rotary District Conference is being held much earlier than usual this year, and it ends on April 11th. As we all know, that is Yom HaShoah. Our district governor wanted to incorporate that into the theme of the conference this year. Originally, Bob Mendler was going to be our guest speaker that morning, and he was also to receive a Paul Harris Fellowship. That's a very high honor in the Rotary world. Actually, Mike and Mark Mendler will both be there to receive the award posthumously. Now, although Bob would have talked about his life, those of us who've heard him talk outside of the Jewish circles, we know his talks also revolved around not looking the other way when you see evil and prejudice. One of the backbones of Rotary is peace and conflict resolution, which was and still is the focus of that morning at the conference. Now, we are also focusing on Yom HaShoah, complete with a display of Holocaust memorabilia and a prayer remembrance service Sunday morning. Yours truly has been asked to lead that part of the morning. What strikes me the most is the desire by a group that is truly removed from almost all aspects of the Holocaust, feeling the need to present the atrocities and remember. Rotary has always been involved in education. All of you know my family has hosted exchange students and also hosted adults from around the world, some of them long-term, the adults usually on a short-term cultural exchange. The whole premise is you will not wage war or hold prejudice against your friends and neighbors, even if that neighbor lives 12,000 miles away. And you know, I cannot help but think back a few years ago when I told my mother-in-law I was having someone of the Muslim faith staying with us. And yeah, he'll be here for Mother's Day dinner. I'll also tell you, it was one of the most enlightening and fun experiences our family has ever had. So we bring this back to why a group of Rotarians would honor and remember the Holocaust. Sure, there are Jews in Rotary, and actually one of the founding 4 members of Rotary was Jewish. But more important, as Rotary looks forward to empowering future generations to leading fulfilling lives, escaping the bounds of illiteracy, poverty, and hard sanitation conditions, we also know they need to be cognizant that with knowledge comes strength. The strength to know the difference between right and wrong, the strength to say no when the easy route looks tempting, and the strength to enact against the evils of the world. So maybe, just maybe, we're having that remembrance that Sunday morning to strengthen our own resolve. Amongst all the good works that any and all service organizations provide, a dose of reality can really serve well. As we all know, the Shoah was the largest mass extermination of a singular people, but unfortunately not the last. As these future generations come out from the barrios, the favelas, the caste systems, or from under autocratic regimes, we have to teach them that is not the way life works in general society. And it is up to those future generations to carry these works forwards. To all of us, Bob was the Holocaust. He personalized what we read and heard, he made it real, and he made us remember. He taught that to many in Rotary also, and at our annual RILA, our Rotary Youth Leadership Seminars. And now that torch has been passed. He and every other survivor who did the same did not just pass it on to us, though. The message he bore must be passed to all future generations.